Sagittarians, welcome in to your monthly reading. This is for the month of March. And we are closing out winter in the northern hemisphere. Closing out summer in the southern. So we're shifting here. Can't believe we've already basically closed out quarter one of 2026, and it has been a couple months, hasn't it? It's been a crazy couple months. It's basically everything that we were anticipating. Disclosures, major disclosure, major revelations, secrets coming out, right? And all these things, right, were hidden. They've been hidden for a long time, and that is exactly the energy right now. This is the age of Aquarius. We are, the energies are really finally saying with Aquarius, like, hey, with Pluto and Aquarius, what's not serving us? What nefarious people who have bad intentions, who are doing, again, things that are hurting people, things that are causing suffering and challenges. All of that is like Pluto's like, nope, we gotta transform, right? And Aquarius, same thing. How can we improve the collective? How can we improve the earth plane for everybody? So that's what's happening here. And February was we said February was going to be a huge month. We had that Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, which is basically one of the biggest astrological aspects in our entire lifetimes. We just experienced. So you got to experience it. And it's kind of something to feel kind of special about, really. That hasn't happened in 6,000 years, over 6,000 years. So we have nobody, we don't even have any a lot of historical information to know what happened, right? How that impacts, what to compare it to. So maybe, people were expecting that day, overnight, everything was going to blow up, but it's going to happen continuously now going forward. It's a slow build. It's going to have a slow change. Obviously, the universe is trying to protect us as well, right? Like if that energy changed in an hour or a day, we probably couldn't handle it. So there's a level of, and that's why we live in this dense reality. That's why we have this time-space reality, because if we were manifesting things instantly, like you do in higher dimensions, we would be in big trouble. I mean, that would be just chaos, like darkness and torture, like even looking in your own mind. Sometimes I think a lot of us can say, woo, if you could sit in my mind for an hour, right? Like we have things that pop in our head that can be pretty dark, or things that we don't really want to happen. Some of our deepest, darkest fears. And if like instantly when you thought of something, it happened, I mean, that would be not good, very not good. So why things manifest slowly, right? It's because we have to put the energy out there first, the intention, the energy frequency out into the ethers. And then it has to kind of come back around and then kind of come to fruition in the physical. It does take some time, and not obviously everything we put out there does. But we're learning that this time-space reality, or even higher dimensional realities, what we know as the past and what we know as the future, is really all occurring at the same time. So there is an alternate reality of you experiencing this timeline, and there's another alternate reality of you experiencing another timeline. And so again, that's why when I talk about we're standing, every now moment has multiple timelines that you can basically go down. It's just about how you are navigating, how you are using our internal tools and compasses, And most of us are not. So we're doing that very unconsciously. And it's like we're doing it on automatic. And what's the driver? Well, the driver is our fears. It's our unconscious beliefs. It's our patterns. It's all those things that are running the show. And that's why what I'm here to help you do, and also the tarot and the tools, is to help you become more aware and have more power and lead with our consciousness, lead with our higher self, because that's when I refer to the higher path, our higher path, or your highest potentiality. That is the path of, sometimes they say, least resistance. It's the path of the least amount of challenge, removing challenge, the path of ease, of unfoldment, of miracles, of synchronicities, of, all the things, right? Things, health, good health, balance, bliss, happiness, contentment, excitement. And that's when you hear also that we're supposed to be in every now moment, following our greatest excitement, following our intuition, following those little inklings we're getting, following our happiness, following the inspirations. And most people are denying all of it in every moment because they have all these excuses or, again, beliefs. Oh, I can't follow my greatest excitement because I have to earn money to pay the bills. Or I can't follow my greatest excitement because my religions, my family, the programs I was put on is saying that that's actually sinful. If we're always following our desires and our excitement, that's actually negative. And that's actually the complete opposite. And that's where we've been programmed with false beliefs, with false truths, to try and control us, to try and prevent us from realizing our highest power, our highest potential. Because if all of us were able to do that and connect with our power, really what we'd create is a utopia. We'd create a heaven on earth. If we were doing it consciously, right? So I always say whatever comes up in the beginning of the readings is kind of just, I allow things to flow, whatever intuitively is coming in. It, sometimes it's similar. If you listen to multiple zodiac sign readings, sometimes it's similar, but sometimes it's way different. And again, I just go in this now moment, what needs to come out for you. And this is for Sagittarians out there. All right. So we are in March, and two big things just to call out. We have a lot of planets changing signs, but we also, as I'm filming this, this is actually the day of the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. So that's a big one. And then we have the spring equinox later in the month. And then we have planets moving. So we are in Piscean season, and then at the end of the month moving into Aries. So right now our sun is in a water sign. All right, let's see. Let's get started. Pull some oracle first. So we have the Angel of Love and Deliberation here. So there's something you're really thinking about in matters of the heart. You've kind of been really sitting with this, deliberating something. This to me is also connecting back to your heart, and the process of realizing, like sitting back and realizing, like maybe you haven't been following your heart, maybe a shift in your awareness about that. There's something definitely in the matters of our heart space. What is it that we, again, our heart really wants? What is it that our heart is calling for us? What is it that we want to feel more fulfilled? And whether it's expressing more love or receiving more love, there's definitely something that you're becoming aware of. And it's more of an awareness of what, maybe, again, going back to the blocks. What have I not been doing? What are the beliefs that have been blocking me? What are the things in my life that haven't brought me the type of love and experience I want? And I'm just going to read a little bit about that Angel of Love card. So this angel comes with roses in her hair and rose-colored wings. She holds a rose quartz heart, radiating tender and loving vibrations, bringing compassion and affection. If you're looking for new love, this angel brings a message of its upcoming approach. Or if you're longing for a deeper, more intimate connection with someone already in your life, she's here to say that far greater tenderness is available to you. Either way, remember that your first intention for tenderness must be directed inward, and the compassion that you demonstrate toward yourself will influence the energetic potential of these events in a significant way. Yes, that's aligned with what I just said. All right, we have the first chakra, that's the root chakra, and that actually came out for Scorpio as well. And then we have the creativity card. So this root chakra card, the root chakra really represents our sense of security and stability and our kind of foundation, our groundedness in this physical life. It is also the kind of the source, the area of creation. So I almost feel like you are harnessing more creativity. You're looking for creative ideas. Again, to me, this card coming out right now, especially in March, it's about redefining our sense of security and stability in your life. And I think you're being inspired more. This creativity card to me is about inspiration, about shifting, about, again, aligning with our heart, aligning with our higher self to receive the impulses, which it doesn't mean creativity means, oh, I have to paint a picture or I have to do some art or a craft or something. To me, this is just living out of our energetic seat of creativity. We are living, breathing, creative beings, right? And whether it's the source of creation, which is about creating something out of nothing, right? Manifesting things. I think there is this focus on realizing, like, you know, holding on to things or situations because they provide me, it's my comfort zone, they provide me a false sense of security or safety. And I think you're becoming more highly aware of this. And this is where the deliberation comes in about realizing, like, what are the things that I truly desire in my heart of hearts? Like, I desire a tender, loving, intimate, passionate relationship where I can truly feel that I can give and to somebody and they're fully able to receive me. And I'm also able to receive them, and they have the ability and the emotional, maturity to love freely and to be tender and loving. But maybe in the past, maybe you're patterning, or maybe you're still in a relationship that just isn't that to you. But you stay because it's, because you've been in it a long time and it's what you know. And it provides a sense of somewhat safety, right? But again, it's false, because you need to realize that you create it within you. And once you create it within you, you're not constantly in this state of anxiety or this up and down, because if we're constantly looking to the external world, whether it's people, money, jobs, to be our sense of security, we're never going to be fully grounded in this reality, in this 3D world. And we already know that. This 3D world is becoming a roller coaster of up and down, whether it's our money situation, the financial situation in the world is uncertain. If we feel security within ourselves and certainty within ourselves, that is how we then manifest that reality. And that's where the creativity comes in. So, lots there. All right, let's pull some tarot and just get some more messages. This just flew out, so we have the Justice card, the Page of Pentacles. So this to me is about learning. The Page of Pentacles is a learning, education, learning a lesson, right? And with Justice, to me, there's something about finally learning some sort of lesson. Things finally coming to culmination. Things are coming together. We're seeing the whys. We're seeing the puzzle pieces. We're understanding why things happened the way they did, or why you had to go through certain experiences that were definitely karmic. But there's this like real kind of sitting back to look at your life, to look at what has occurred and unfolded, and you're getting some sort of zen about it. And then Six of Swords. So yeah, there's the path of least resistance here. So you are shifting this month, and with the realization, the wisdom, and you're able to apply it. And like what I talked about earlier, is like you have all the tools that you've been given by Source as when you came into this reality. We have been really given everything we need to navigate this 3D world. We've just, again, we don't have people who taught us that, right? They've all been unconscious. They've all been asleep. And then we give birth to a new generation, and they're trying to navigate this 3D world. And the information we've been given by our parents, our families, our education system, our friends, our societies, our cultures, have really disconnected us from our truth and led us astray, which is what causes all the suffering and challenge in the world. But this is about finding awareness about that. And you're finally realizing like how to find the path of least resistance here. And all of a sudden things shift and become a lot more easier for you. And you're like, wow, I wish I would have learned this, like when I was a kid, and thinking of how much suffering or situations that could have been avoided. But again, we shouldn't look back and say shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Because we also came here with a blueprint that we decided and said, these are the experiences I want to have. And no matter how challenging they were, we need to come to the realization we did choose them. And the players in our life, and how maybe dense they were, and how much suffering they caused us. We also made contracts with them karmically, but all of it had to happen to get you here and to help give you this new level of Zen awareness, understanding. All right, Two of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. Wow. Now we're shifting to all this Wands energy, which is fire energy. That is around, to me, the connection to our higher self. That is the source of creation, of inspiration, of passion, of ideas. And we are making new decisions. We are deciding new things for our life. We are making changes. And those changes, when we apply them and when we're making new decisions with more awareness, that is where all of a sudden things start working out for us. There's something here around success of maybe if some of you are looking to be seen or putting some yourself out there to be seen, to be acknowledged. That's definitely the Six of Wands energy. Like this, in this deck, this person's kind of going out on a stage and she's being applauded and really being seen for her gifts and abilities here. And she's realizing success off those. And these things are more our innate, authentic selves that we're putting out there that really are, that's when we truly start getting people to see us, is when we're truly in alignment with our authenticity. We're doing things that we love, that excite us. And that's where we start manifesting people who, not everyone is going to be in alignment with us, but that's going to be life. But the more we stand in our truth, instead of trying to be something that we think people want us to be, or maybe we don't have confidence about putting our true gifts and abilities out there because, ooh, I could be judged, or maybe it's things that your family or your parents put down because it doesn't align with their truth. Whatever it is, we're finally doing things for us. And that is where we have the Ten of Wands, where we have a closure of some sort of period, or we're definitely ending something that has been challenging. Also, to me, the Ten of Wands represents like here, like in this deck, look at all the baggage she's carrying. And how that creates such a more challenging path, right? When you have to carry a bunch. Think of carrying 100-pound, backpack, and you have to hike with that. Obviously, that's going to be a lot more challenging and difficult than if you don't have to carry any backpack. But that represents, the wands and that baggage represents, it can be energetic baggage. It can be belief systems. It can be trauma. Or just like, again, carrying other people's challenges, other people's drama. And that's where the 10 is indicates kind of a completion cycle. You've completed a cycle here, and I think that's really going to be great for you. Ooh, the Emperor in reverse here. I'm going to keep that reversal. The Death card, rebirth. And the Five of Swords. So we are ending a very challenging, something very challenging here. And it also is tied to people that are challenging. Because the Emperor in the reverse really represents like the Emperor on its detriment, which is people who are very stubborn, very stuck in their ways, very my way or the highway type of energy, controlling, domineering. And with the Five of Swords too, oof, this is some hardcore people. Like these are some toxic people, very manipulative, again, highly controlling, very highly controlling. They also carry a lot of fear. When people have those behavior patterns, they are really living in a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity. So the way they cope is to kind of control people and be very rigid. But this is ending. There's a huge transformation happening here, and you're closing this cycle out. And in the middle, in the heart of your reading, is victory and success. And that card in the normal Rider-Waite tarot is a picture of a man on his horse, and really he's just been through a battle, a war, and they've won. They've been victorious, and he's now riding back home, and he's getting all of the cheers and the accolades of, look at what you've accomplished, look at what you've overcome, and you're out of the battle now, and you're riding into kind of that time of peace and success. And that's what what's the heart of what's going on for you in March, is just that, is you've been through a lot. You might have been through a period with some really challenging people or person. And this is, it's kind of like divine timing of this closing out. But you're also becoming more aware. You've learned the lesson, and now you're seeing this. And now you can actually make the decision to realize, like, I don't have to continue in this. I don't have to stay in this toxic energy. And once you do that and start making a new decision to walk a new path is when all of a sudden things become a lot easier. So you could be deliberating ending something here, ending a relationship, ending a job with a boss like this, Sagittarius. So let's see, what is the Page of Pentacles? Nine of Pentacles. So this is, again, learning the lesson of standing in your truth, being more authentic, Maybe taking a leap of faith. And again, if this is about ending a relationship, that's the card of being single. So it's like you're learning the lesson of you can do this on your own. You can be single again, and you can find your power in that. And actually, I think maybe for those of you in that situation, that maybe is what kept you in this, is because you're afraid of being single again. You're afraid of being on your own and what that means, and not having this person as a sense of support or security. But look at how toxic this is. Let's see, the Two of Wands. Yeah, 2 to the 3. So you are making a decision to expand, to go in a different direction. The 2 and 3 of Wands also together represents you. The 2 is like you putting out the intention or putting out your wish. And the 3 of Wands is it's finally coming to you. The Emperor in reverse. Knight of Pentacles. This person has been slowing you down, like major dragging you down. Also, if you feel like there hasn't been a lot of progress in your life in general, or you just feel like this, like nothing's changing, I'm in a Groundhog's Day, like I'm trying to expand my life, or even this relationship affects you in all areas of your life, whether it's your career, your abundance, your adventure, your excitement. I feel like there's just this dragging. This person, I call the Knight of Pentacles steady Eddie. Like there's something kind of steady about this person, but they are highly toxic and they are highly controlling. And you're kind of just along for the ride when you're with them, right? They control the direction. They control what you do or don't do. And it's kind of just like, I think also this person I'm kind of picking up on, like they're not very exciting. They don't like to do much. Where you kind of are like, I want to go out there and like enjoy life and connect with people. And that's very Sagittarius, right? Sagittarians are like the fun-loving sign of the zodiac. And it's interesting because it's like, you know, it's hard to hold down a Sagittarian, but it's definitely happening. And that's what's definitely, you know, creating stagnation for you, because you're not able to truly be you. And you're feeling it. Let's see, Death card. The World. Yeah, this is an ending. There definitely is an ending here. So this could definitely be ending in March. But this is indicating the new beginning as well. So I think that's the positive here. 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and the Strength card. Yeah, you're going to have to really find the inner strength here and courage to stand up to this person, I feel. It's going to be difficult, and this isn't someone that you want to get in a conflict with. And I just feel like, Sages, you have kind of become a different person because of this person or this situation, this environment. Like if someone externally who knew you for a long time would probably tell you, like, you're not the old you. Like, this isn't who you really are. And I think it's definitely this energy has dragged you down. There's definitely this manipulation of trying, maybe you've tried to work with this person. You've tried to, like, how do we get on a better page? How do we work together? Whatever situation this relationship is in your life. But like, there's definitely this, it's almost like, I call it like, not to swear, but I'm gonna, like a mind fuckery. Like you constantly feel like every time you try to work with this person, you end up walking out of it with a headache. Like you feel like, what did I just go through? Like it's like so hard to even try and figure things out with them because they always turn things on its head. They're gaslighting. Like they say one thing and then they do say the other, and then they say that you said something different. Like it's just like there's no way to deal with someone like that. Like as long as you deal in that situation, you're always going to be in this place of stress and like you feel like you're going crazy type of energy. And that's a hard thing to get out of, especially in like a romantic partnership. But the Strength card here, you're going to find the confidence and strength to stand up to this. And then this flew out, Ace of Swords. Yeah, you're finally standing in your truth. And I think you're going to put the sword down this month. And you know now, you have the clarity. You're finally really seeing this. Maybe you didn't really see it for what it is for a long time. Maybe you were in denial. Maybe it's because you really didn't want to make any different decisions. You kind of just... but the truth can't be unseen anymore with this Ace of Swords. So this is a very specific kind of storyline here, but maybe a lot of you are dealing with this just in a different ways, right? With different people, in different areas of your life. I mean, it could be a friend even, but there's definitely someone here that's not good energy. All right, one last thing before we go, Sagittarius. I'm going to pull an I Ching message just to give you something to think about, some guidance here for the month. All right, so we got the Joyous Lake Over Lake card. To make life better, we must have this or we must do that, but the material gains do not bring lasting joy, as there will always be something else to have or do. I Ching says that to be fulfilled, we need to devote ourselves to the principles of humility, detachment, modesty, and acceptance. So there could be too much focus on the material world or on the physical world, and maybe again that's why you're kind of staying with this Emperor, because the Emperor really is the highest octave of the masculine, and he's above the kings. So, you know, it could be someone who has a lot of power, prestige, success. If it's a boss, or you're dealing with someone who's really higher up, and it's, you know, because you're dealing with someone like that, because this card is kind of talking about like the material, what is the gain? But to me, this is kind of saying, what are you really like you think you're gaining, but what are you losing? So it kind of almost, there really isn't a gain here. It's a loss. So this says here, material gains do not bring lasting joy. So I think that's what's kind of going on here. But to really be fulfilled, we need to really, again, detach, right? Detach, be objective here, be more aware. There is this essence of just acceptance too, and it's okay accepting that you are where you are. Maybe there is a little bit of like shame or guilt about what you didn't do in the past, or you didn't stand up to this person, but it's focusing on what really fulfills you now. All right, Sagittarius, very interesting here. Good stuff. Don't forget, before you leave, join the Lyran Soul Tribe here. So subscribe, hit that bell to make sure you get future videos. But thank you all for joining in, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.